You know that person, right? In almost any room, a meeting, a party, a classroom, there's always someone who heads straight for the perimeter. The back wall, the corner seat, the chair right by the door. We see it all the time, but have you ever really stopped to wonder why? Well, what if I told you this isn't about being shy? What if it's actually about power? Let's get into it. So why do they do it? Is it just a habit? A little bit of social anxiety? Today, we're going to unpack the psychology behind this, and I think you'll be surprised. It has less to do with avoiding the spotlight and everything to do with controlling it. Okay, first things first, this is not just some random quirk. For a lot of people, it's a very deliberate strategy. And once you know what to look for, you'll start seeing it absolutely everywhere. It reveals a really interesting way that some people navigate their social world. I mean, think about it. In a classroom, right? It's the student in the back row who has a perfect view of everyone else. In a big work meeting, it's that colleague in the corner chair who can not only watch the presenter, but also gauge everybody else's reactions. And yeah, at a party, it's that person leaning against the wall, just outside the main circle, taking it all in. These aren't accidents, they're choices. And this really gets to the heart of it. For the person at the edge of the room, being seen isn't the main goal. The goal is to see. They treat their own visibility like a valuable resource, something to be carefully managed and only spent when it offers the biggest advantage. So what's the secret psychological engine that's powering all this? We're about to get into the why behind the what, and it really all comes down to one core concept known as self-monitoring.
The key term here is high self-monitoring. In psychology, this basically describes a person's knack for reading social cues, body language, tone of voice, the whole vibe of the group, and then adjusting their own behavior to fit in perfectly.
High self-monitors are basically social chameleons. They adapt. Now, to really get it, it helps to look at their opposite, low self-monitors. These are people who tend to act based on how they feel inside, no matter the social setting. They're consistent. What you see is what you get. The person at the edge of the room, odds are they're a classic high self-monitor. Here's a great way to picture it. Think of them like a security camera operator in a control room. The edge of the room is their control room. It gives them maximum situational awareness with minimum personal exposure. They can see all the action on all the screens without ever being on a screen themselves. So their whole strategy really breaks down into two simple steps. First, maximize your input. Gather all the social data you can. Then, carefully control your output. You wait, you process, and you only jump in when you've figured out the perfect moment for the biggest impact. It's all about control. Now, here's where it gets really interesting. This whole strategy isn't just for physical rooms anymore. In our world today, the edge of the room is something most of us carry around right in our pockets. The same psychology is at play, but on a massive, massive new scale. You know exactly what I'm talking about, right? It's lurking. It's endlessly scrolling through social media feeds, reading all the comments, watching all the stories, but without ever posting or liking or commenting yourself. This is the purest digital form of that edge of the room behavior. And just think about the advantages here. You can gather a huge amount of social data. What's popular, who's mad about what the group's vibe is, all with zero risk of saying the wrong thing. You get to absorb everything without committing to anything. In a lot of ways, our online world feels like it was perfectly designed for this behavior. It's amplified the power of the high self-monitor, rewarding those who can strategically hang back, observe, and time their engagement for maximum effect. But there's a flip side. All this observation, all this careful control, it doesn't come for free. There's a real dilemma, a hidden cost, for the person who's always observing from the sidelines. It's a trade-off, plain and simple. On one hand, the advantages are huge. High self-monitors often get ahead in their careers and make very few social blunders. But the cost can be steep. It is mentally exhausting to always be on. It can lead to connections that feel a bit shallow since every interaction is filtered. And it can leave you feeling like you're never really showing your true, authentic self. And this isn't just a personal cost. As a society, if more and more of us retreat to the edge of the room, both in real life and online, we run the risk of creating a world that values perfectly curated performance over messy, spontaneous, and truly authentic connection. So the next time you see someone at the edge of the room, remember this. They aren't necessarily shy or introverted. More often than not, they are running a pretty sophisticated psychological program to manage their social environment, observe the dynamics, and maintain control. All right, so here's a little challenge for you. First, Just start noticing. Where do you naturally gravitate in a room? Are you someone who dives into the center of the action, or are you more of an edge of the room observer? Then, the next time you walk into a room, consciously try the opposite. Just see what it feels like. And that leaves us with one final thought to chew on. The next time you find your spot, whether it's in a meeting room or on your social media feed, ask yourself this simple but pretty powerful question: is this spot helping me connect, or is it just keeping me safe?